Hey guys, Bluebridge here. This is a bit late, this preview, but you know what? After our 2-0 win against Leverkusen and the fantastic debut of Estevao Willian, I thought I have to make one. Better late than ever, so let's get into it. So there was a great deal to be happy about yesterday after that great performance against Chelsea, and even when we made all those substitutions second half, the philosophy was still there, the pace was still there, the energy was still there. So it looks good for the coming season. I'm not getting carried away, like I always don't get carried away, because it's a long season, anything can happen. As I mentioned in the video I did, not sure if you guys watched it because it was just before the game yesterday. We got the unfortunate injury to Levi Colwell. Though we can get more injuries, other teams can get other injuries, and pre-season is a barometer, but it's not it could be an indicator, but there are other tangibles that need to happen for us to challenge. But I do believe that we are going to perform a lot better next season. The reason I believe that is because we've improved on our squad. If you watched my video I did yesterday on Jamie Carragher, I don't know what he's talking about, where it's like-for-like replacements. Could anyone tell me that Estevao Williams is a like-for-like replacement for Madueke, or even Gittins for that instance? From the little bit I saw, I think that's an upgrade. But as I said, time will tell. So let me talk about Estevao William first of all, because I've done a couple of videos, or one video on Estevao a few days ago. Watch it if you haven't done so already. And a lot of people just thinking, as I said in that video, that when we bought him, we're just buying another Brazilian. But we're buying, this guy is special. And he is the latest to come out since Neymar. He's heir to Neymar's throne. And we got to enjoy this lad while we got him. And I still think we'll have him for 5 or 6 seasons before he goes off to Spain. That's my thing. I hope not, but for me, that's what will happen eventually, because this boy is special, and you can see the way his debut. Okay, it's a friendly match, but you can take a lot from friendly matches. His movement is great. His passing is fantastic. His crossfield passing, his acceleration. From a standing position, his delivery, his movement. Did I say his movement before? Yeah, but it's also the way that ball knows ball, player knows players, good players know good players, and you already see that link up between him and Cole Palmer. You can see that relationship between them, and that this season is going to be a joy to watch. And they've only had a week's training session together, and they're linking up like this. Can you imagine what happens as the season goes on? And the other thing is, what I like is that because of his ability and intelligence, just like Cole Palmer, he's another player that the opposition have got to worry about, because last season we were kind of a bit one-dimensional. If Cole Palmer was off his game, Chelsea didn't really tick, and a lot of teams just said, you know what, we man-mark Cole Palmer and we nullify a lot of Chelsea's attacking threat. But with Estevao Willian now in the team, you try and nullify Palmer, he can create damage. So they've got to keep an eye on a couple of players. That's what happens when you have good players in the team. So you can't just concentrate on snuffing out one player. If you've got 2 or 3 players, you can then come in and do the business. Because you saw that when Cole Palmer went off and Estevao moved into the 10 slot. The quality didn't drop. We still played with that same high level that we did in the first half. And so for me, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with Estevao Willian going forward. Hopefully, as I said, he keeps himself fit. People don't target him, because you can see people probably target him him as well, because he's going to embarrass a few defenders this season. And the first run he had was really positive. He took on his defender, had him on the back foot from the beginning. He could have scored another one where he dragged it wide, but he's getting into those positions, which is good. And this guy, enjoy him, and he's gonna be the real deal. Trust me. Anyway, I want to talk about another winger who came on in the second half as well, Gittins. We finally got that one-on. Maresco always goes on about that 1v1 winger that he likes in his team. He had that at Leicester, who can take players on at the byline. And what we saw with Gittins from the moment he came on, first movement he done, he used his pace, skinned the defender. Then we saw 2 or 3 step overs when he came in, cut inside, neat footwork, had a shot which was blocked, and everything he did was positive, and he wanted to take his man on. As I said, he's got quick footwork, he's got pace, he's got ability, and as he saw in Germany, he knows how to with the back of the net. It's obviously he didn't have a chance to do that yesterday, but we can see that on that side as well we've got a threat. So we've got another threat coming in on the left, and he's like a Jadon Sancho with pace. And the thing about Jadon Sancho, he wasn't the quickest, but this guy's quick as well. London boy, ex-Chelsea, if a lot of you didn't know. He started off as a kid for us before moving to Reading, then Man City. And so he's come back, West London roots as well, wants to play for Chelsea. God-fearing guy, just like Estevao. So, happy days. Joao Pedro came on, looked the biz as usual. I love his closing down. I love his ability. Good finish for the goal. And he's got a little bit about him, I think. I don't want to knock players because this, Delap looks like he needs to grow into it a bit more. He was a little bit off the pace. He had a couple of half chances to get on the end, but he does put himself about a bit. I'm not getting on his back. This is just the first match at home. He played in the Club World Cup, but he's still young. He's still learning. And a good thing about having Joao Pedro we don't put immediate pressure on Liam Delap, and so what he can do, he can start coming off the bench, growing into the game, growing into the team, and hopefully as he gets used to the way we play, gets a bit more experience, then but he gives us another option off the bench, or even sometimes when he starts he gives us another option. So I'm not worried about him at the moment. And some other noticeable mentions as well. Esugu, the biggest compliment I can give to this guy is when Caicedo went off, he looked like a mini Caicedo. Use of the ball was great, snuffed out, good at tackling, snuffed out the danger, played as that lone holding midfielder, and the quality wasn't that far dropped off. That's what I'm saying. So we've now got depth, so if Caicedo's missing for a few games, then this guy can seamlessly come and fit in. Heitu on his debut as well, good little debut from Heitu. Again, someone who can slot in when Cucurella is not playing, so again, not a massive drop in quality. Okay, we've lost Colwell, but I always wax lyrics about Achampong. Every time I see this guy play, he looks at business for me, and I think he's got that mentality as well, and I think he can slot in. Just one mistake when he slipped on the ball, which could have been costly, but apart from that, I thought he had a faultless match. Even Shalabar came in on that left hand side and he looked pretty decent as well. So as the season goes on, I don't know, but I just feel that we may just be able to cope and sort of push on without Colwell. As I said, it will be a big loss, but again, only time will tell. And Santos went in and looked decent as well in the middle of the park. We didn't even play and Enzo Fernandez didn't even play yesterday neither. He was getting a well-earned rest. So the only thing I'll say about Pedro Neto, is that sometimes he runs like a headless chicken. He's got to look up a bit more when he crosses the ball. What you saw with Genesis Antwi when he came on to set up that goal for Joao Pedro was good run, and he made the right decision, cutting the ball into the path of Joao Pedro to score that goal. I think Pedro needs. I'm really going to confuse everyone this year because I keep calling Pedro Neto Pedro, but we got a Pedro with Joao Pedro. I think I did it the other day. So Pedro Neto, I've got to keep saying that. He needs to just look up a bit more because sometimes his crosses are a bit blind. And one apology the other day when I made anyone who's picked up on when I made the Estevao video, I kept referring to him as a 17-year-old. He had his birthday a couple of months ago. He's now 18, not 17, so apologies for that. So anyway, I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the season. So not getting carried away, not saying we're title contenders or anything like that, but everything, from the World Club Cup and the confidence that brought, and the way that we played yesterday with a lot of confidence, a lot of pace, and we looked pretty decent. Long may that continue, and hopefully we can press on as the season goes on. But big test against Palace, and what may be our downfall, we've seen, as I said, with the injury to Leo Colwell, because the guys haven't had a lot of rest. More injuries might creep in towards the season, and fatigue after not having a long pre-season. But that's what the squad depth is there for. So I think the club has preempted that. They've brought in these players, and like Asigu can come in sometimes. We've got Gittins on one side. If we get Javis Simons, he can fill in for Cole Palmer, and then we've also got Neto and Estevao on the other side. So we've got a good depth in there, and as I said, without weakening the side a great deal. So Jamie Carragher, mate, we have improved in different areas, and hopefully we'll prove that to you as the season goes on. So guys, let me know what your thoughts about yesterday's match in the comment section below. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications, let me be notified every time I make a new video. So take care.